Fellas, this is Casual Cubing, and today we are gonna be solving the last layer of the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. In my previous two videos, I covered the first layer and the second layer, and today, in this video, we're doing the last layer. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, for the last layer, there are three possible cases. There are four steps for solving the last layer essentially. First is EO, or edge orientation, where we orient all the yellow edges of the yellow face with a single algorithm to form a yellow plus. And then corner orientation, it's where we solve all the corners, like orient them and make them good corners. And then there's PLL, which is the last step, where you essentially, second please, there you go, where you make headlights. These are headlights, and make sure you have headlights all around like this, and then solve the rest of the cube. So yeah, those are the four steps of the last layer. And yeah, now let's just get into it. So I'm gonna be going over all three EO cases, which I'm gonna show right here on Mr. Example Cube, along with two other example cubes. Ooh, very nice. So let me just set them up. And yep, so first case is gonna go from left to right. We're gonna talk about them from left to right. First case is the line case, where you have two edges oriented, mean they're correct, as you can see, and you need to you have this line over here, horizontal. Now make sure you keep the line horizontal. The recognition is pretty straightforward, and the algorithm is also just 6 moves. So let's get into the algorithm. Hold it from such an angle that the line is horizontal. It can be like this or this, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have the exact corner orientation, it doesn't matter. We only are focusing on the edges for this step. Look, if I have this, then the algorithm will work. Look, see? So yeah, let me just show you the algorithm actually. So here it goes. Now the algorithm is really easy. If you know about T1 or trigger 1, which I taught you in my previous previous two videos, which is just RU R prime U prime, it's essentially pretty simple. You just do an F RU R prime U prime, which is T1 or trigger 1, and then F prime. Next case, we call this L because this is like an L shape, or you can think of it as a hook, but it's mostly called L in the speed keeping community. So you have this L case. Again, corner orientation does not matter. We are focusing on the edges, these pieces. We need flip the bad edges. These are bad edges. So whichever edges are not having yellow facing towards the top, unlike these two, are bad. So as you can see, F prime for the line one, which orients the two bad edges, one at the front, one at the back. And over here in the L, we orient the front two, like the front one and the right side one. The back and left one are gonna just stay like that. We're gonna keep them, the oriented ones, in this position, hold it from this angle, and perform this algorithm. So what you're doing is basically doing an F, and then the trigger 1 T1 RU R prime U prime, just doing it 2 times instead of once, like R U R prime U prime R U R prime U prime F prime. Or there's an alternative alg where you just hold it from the same angle and do F U R U prime R prime and then F prime. Now for beginners, even though I've taught T1, which is just R U R prime U prime, it's easier to just do the F double R U R prime U prime R U R prime U prime and then F prime. And if you're able to remember the inverse of T1, which is U R U prime R prime, then you can do the shorter one, which goes like this. So, or you can just do like F double T1. T1 meaning trigger 1. So yeah, now let's get into the last case for the EL, which is dot. Now this is probably the worst cases the worst case you can get in beginner OLL. And once you advance from beginner to advanced OLL or like full OLL, then these dot cases are the worst cases you can get. I'm telling you, bro. Or like whoever is watching. So the dot you can hold from any angle and perform this algorithm. Now we do double Shrek, like we just do this L shape case. We do the L shape algorithm, which is F double Shrek, which is RU R prime U prime RU R prime U prime and then F prime. And then we get the line case, which we had before, like like that, as you can see, F Shrek F prime. And yeah, we just keep the line horizontal and do the algorithm for the line case. So yeah, that should be it for dot. There's an alternative alg. You can just do F inverse Shrek and F prime. And now you just look at this line, ignore the corners. We want to only look at the edges. Don't get confused, and don't forget, like, don't confuse any other case. Like for example, just don't confuse an L case. Do not confuse the L case, this L case, with this case, cause like you may have problem recognizing them, but the main focus is the edges. So we got this L-shaped edge here, for which it'll go like F double Shrek and then F prime. And for this line, you just hold it horizontally, F single Shrek and F prime. Now for the dot, again we just do F double Shrek from any angle, F prime, and then U or U prime. Like, just make sure the line's horizontal. I'll do U in this case, and then F single Shrek F prime. So I hope that's it for the corner orientation. If you do not understand, then you can rewatch this part of the video, as I'll be moving on to CL. Now on this cube, which we are actually doing ourselves on, those are just example cubes. Essentially what we're doing is we're gonna orient all the edges. We already have two oriented. We got the line, so we're gonna do the algorithm for the line, which is now for corner orientation, there are 7 cases which you can get, and all of them have this one really easy universal concept. You can orient the corners with just R, U, R prime, U prime. Yes, literally. So what you can do is grab your cube, rotate it like this such that the white face is facing on top. And right before I get into how you can orient the corners, you're first going to identify which corners we have to orient and which corners we don't. Now we're going to call these good corners and bad corners. Now this has its yellow color facing upwards, which we consider a good corner, while the rest of these have the yellows facing like on the sides, which we consider bad colors. So same goes for here. All of these are bad corners because none of them have the yellow facing upwards. So yeah, we're gonna have white on top, and we're gonna repeat trigger 1, which is the Shrek move, which is just R U R prime U prime, R U R prime U prime, R U R prime U prime, R U R prime and U prime. And as you can see, this corner has become a good corner. Now that we've made one good corner, we're gonna keep on repeating that until one is a good corner. Then we're gonna move the bottom layer, yes, this bottom layer, so that this bad corner is in this file, in this slot, this file, as you can see. Then we're gonna repeat R U R prime U prime, that trigger over and over and again until it's oriented. Then we move on to the next one. Repeat the same process until it's good. Move on to the next one and repeat. Now that we are done with corner orientation, if you do not understand, and this works on all cases, whether you have 2 corners twisted, you have 3 corners twisted, or you even have, let's say, all 4 twisted, it does not matter. As long as you have a plus on top, then you are gonna just do the Shrek move out like I've taught you. So the T1 is the Shrek move one. If you have something like this after orienting all your corners, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to do EO all over again, edge orientation all over again, like I have to do edge orientation. Then I have to do corner orientation. I see I have 2 twisted corners, so I'll just go yeah, and then I'll have to do PLL afterwards, which I'm going to talk about right now. So bringing the solving cube, which we're going to solve on, we're going to search for the pair of matching corners, which you call headlights. And these are headlights right over here, as we can see. This is a headlight, and we're gonna keep it on our left side. Okay, yellow on top, headlights on the left side, and this is a headlight. And if we sorry for that, if we have pairs of headlights all around the cube, that means that your corners are solved. And then you move on to edge permutation. So if you do not have all your corners solved and you only see one pair of headlights, then you must execute this algorithm. Now that I've done the algorithm, I see I have all my corners permuted and complete, which leaves me with just edges. Now for the ones where we do not have any headlights whatsoever, forget about the blocks. We're focusing on the corners. We do not have any headlights. We just see opposites, 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 and opposites everywhere. Now what we're gonna do, let me just set up another cube. As you can see, there's all opposites, and this one also has all opposites. So let me just fix that real quick. Now this one has matching corners. We forget about the edge for now. We're gonna get through the edges later. You see that this has matching corners and this does not have any matching corners. Now the algorithm for the one without any matching corners or without any headlights, which I've already explained are these matching corners, as you can see. And then just hold it from any angle, whether it be here or even here, just anywhere. Make sure yellow is on top, obviously, because we're solving the last layer. And we're gonna execute the same algorithm which I taught you, like this. And now once we're done with that, we find the one which has headlights over here. As you can see, there are headlights. We're gonna put those on our left side over here. Headlights on the left side, like here, and then execute this algorithm, the same alg. Now I have edges and we'll leave with them. Another way to solve corners, which like solve the top layer corners which have no headlights whatsoever, is to just hold it from any angle and perform this algorithm, which just does a diagonal corner swap, which goes like this. So yeah, it's best if you learn this second one, which I also taught you, and also the first one. Make sure you learn both, because they'll both be very useful in solving. And it's completely up to you whether you want to go from, let's just show you, like no headlights to one pair of headlights to all headlights, or you can just go from no headlights to all headlights, thus requiring you to learn 2 algorithms for PLL right now. And now we're gonna get to the edges, which is the final step, the final part of solving. Now let's grab the solving cube, and there are 4 possible cases you can get for edges. One I have set up right here, second one right here, third one right here, and fourth one right here. Now that I have all 4 cases, we're gonna go from like left to right about them, starting off with this first one. Don't worry, they may seem overwhelming at first, like 4 cases, come on man, but don't worry, I got you. Anyways, for this first case, we'll call this a UA, where we got these big boy block back here with all the corners solved. And we have this edge going into the right face. As you can see, this one matches with the right side. Now, if this condition is true, and these 2 colors are opposite, then we perform this algorithm. So breaking down, we do an R U prime, R U, R U, like again, and then we do an R U prime again, and then R prime, U prime, R2. This may take time learning and take as much time as needed. If you mess up, don't worry, it's okay. It's part of the learning process, fellas. Now that's the first case then, which is the UA, as you can see. And yeah, now let's get into the second case. This is another U-perm where we got the same big boy block here, the iconic big boy block here, but this edge at the front is not going into the right. This does not match with the right. No. But brother or sister, whoever's watching this, this color over here matches with the left side, and these 2 colors are opposites, and this one goes to the left while these 2 are opposite. I already stated that. And we're gonna keep the big boy block at the back, just like we did for the first case, and execute the reverse alg of the first case, which goes like this. So essentially, to break it down, we do an R2 U, a Shrek move, which is a T1 trigger or trigger 1, R U R prime U prime, and then R prime U prime, and then R prime U R prime. That's the UB perm done. Now those are the U perms. Let's get into this Z perm. Now this will be a combination of UA algs or maybe UB if they're included. Otherwise it's mostly going to be UA, which is this case. So yeah, you hold it from such an angle that this edge swaps with this one. These two edges are swapping and these two edges are swapping. If you're holding it from this angle, then execute the UA algorithm, which goes like this. Now that we've done that, we do a U prime, identify which case is it. Does this edge go to the right side because the matching corners, or does it go into the left side? All the corners are parameter, you don't need to worry about it, Habibi, or whoever was watching the video. Anyways, if this one is going into the right, then it's a UA. If it's going into the left, it's a UB. Now tell me which one is it. Pause the video and try to guess yourself. If you guessed a UA, then you're correct. Now you keep the big boy block at the back and execute the UA alg. Now that's the Z perm done. We're moving on to the final case of the video, and then we'll finally be done with solving a Rubik's Cube. And yeah, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as I'm getting into the final alg. Now for this one, you see that we have opposites everywhere. These two need to swap, these two need to swap. It's kind of like a plus or cross. And like these are opposites, 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 opposites in terms of color. So hold it from any angle and perform the UA algorithm, which goes like this. Like that. Boom. Now this big boy block over here, we keep it at the back. And is this a UA or UB? Identify. This is a UA. If you guessed a UA, then you are absolutely correct. And the difference between UA and UB, let me show you right here, is that this edge goes into the left side while this one goes to the right side. So this edge has these two corners matching with it, and this edge over here in the UB has these two corners matching. The UB has this counterclockwise cycle. This edge goes here, which goes here, which goes here. The UA is the exact opposite, which goes from here to here to here and then back. Now after doing the UA alg for the first time, we do a U and execute the UA for the second time. Okay, those are all the edge cases, and yeah, I'm gonna be scrambling up the cube and I'll be putting up the scramble on screen. And this is a timed solve, not a timed solve but an example solve with the beginner method with all my teaching which I've taught you. Now this scramble is gonna be done with green front, white top, and it will be on screen. One second. Okay, now that I've scrambled my cube, what I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna do first is inspect, obviously. And for my plus, the white plus, all my white pieces are here, 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 and here. And what I'm thinking about is what you like just think about is inserting the green straight away, thus forming that. But what you could do while inserting the green, you can insert this orange like that, and then you can match up to form your first 3 edges. Now this is your last white one. You can just move it over the correct center area where it's supposed to be, and then perform algorithm number 1, which I taught you probably in my first video, which goes like this. Now that we're done with the cross, we're gonna move on to the first layer, and luckily I got one corner skipped, so I'm gonna choose some other corner. All my white corners are here, 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 and here. So I'm going to choose this one because it's our slot and it's pretty easy. I look at the colors: white, green, and orange. Now I find the white, green, and orange file over here, and then I execute RU, R prime, U prime, or the Shrek move, or T1 trigger, or trigger 1, whatever. So it just goes like this. Now I see that this corner is out of its slot, so it will be the easiest option. Now I see that it has orange and blue and white. White's at the bottom, and we're gonna bring it into the file of orange and blue. I see that these two colors are like matching with these two centers, and I then execute the algorithm if that condition is true, which I just said about these two colors matching these two centers. So it goes like this. Now I have a skip over here, but in actual solves this isn't much likely to happen. So this corner I'll choose as my last corner. I look at the colors, I move it to the correct area, and I just repeat the drill. Now that I am done with my first layer, let's get into the second layer. Now we can pick any one of 4 edges, edges without yellow, which are over here, 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 and here. So what you can do is like choose any one. I would recommend you choosing ones out of slot. If none of them are somehow out of slot, then do any one of the algorithms, whether it be case 1 or case 2, just so you can get rid of the edge from its wrong slot and replace it with the yellow edge. It doesn't matter if the yellow edge is there or not. Our purpose is to just get rid of the edge from the wrong slot. Now I'm going to choose this one, for example. I look at this, see that it goes here, as you can see, and this front sticker is not matching with the front center. So what I'm going to do is check if it matches with the right center. If this matches with the right center, we are going to rotate to that side, do a U prime, just hold from this angle and perform the algorithm of case 2. Rotate, insert. Now choose your second edge, which would be here. Check if it's matching over here or not. If it's matching the right side, then I'll do case 2 by rotating here and then doing the algorithm. Now we have the special case. That's what we're gonna call it, fellas. Now we can choose any one of these 2 slots which we can place. For example, I'll choose this one, or actually this one. So pick any one of the yellow edges. You may even pick your favorite. For example, if blue's your favorite, yeah, whatever. Just do case 1 algorithm. There we go. We've gotten rid of this edge. Now we're gonna solve this edge. See if it's case 1 or case 2. If this color matches with the front, this is case 1, and we're gonna do case 1 like this. Now this is the final edge. Bring it to the right area such that it fits like that. and see whether this is matching with the right side or the front side. If it matches with the right side, rotate to that face and perform case 2 algorithm since it's case 2. Now that we are at last layer, which I talked about in this video, we're first gonna look and see if this is a line case, a dot case, or an L case. Now for me, I got the best one, which is a line case. We keep the line horizontal and do the algorithm. And then we see how many corners are twisted. The twisted or bad corners which we have are 2 right over here. This is just an example. There's 7 total patterns you can get for twisted corners. Anyways, you just do a rotation such that y is on top, and you have this twisted corner over here in this area, and then you just do T1, which is R U R prime U prime, repeatedly, just such that it gets oriented, and then you move the D layer until you find another unoriented piece like this one. Then we repeat R U R prime U prime R U R prime U prime all the way until it's oriented. Now we're gonna see if there are any pairs of headlights, just like in PLL, for PLL actually. And looking around, I see there's only one pair on the left side. So we keep it on the left side and perform the algorithm like I taught you. Like that, insert the pair, and bingo. Now they're just our edges remaining, which we're gonna do. Okay, back to it. We're gonna identify one of 4 cases for the edges. We can see that this is a Z prime, and we hold it from the angle which I taught you and perform the algorithm. Now we see this big boy block, we put it at the back and identify if this is a UA or UB. This is a UA since this edge goes into the right area and because these 2 corners match this edge's color. Then we do the UA alg like that, and yeah, bingo. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. If you still have any problems, then you feel free to ask me about like any questions related to solving, and I'll make sure to respond. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.